We're talking all about the Fibonacci betting sequence today, and we're going to show you how that applies to Blackjack as opposed to some of the other games where you maybe have heard of the Fibonacci sequence more, like in craps or roulette or maybe even Baccarat. All right, and so because of that, we're going to show you why Blackjack is a whole different animal when it comes to these specific kind of progressive betting strategies, and why you probably don't want to do them. And if you do, you definitely don't want to use Blackjack as the means to your strategy. All right. That said, what is the Fibonacci sequence? As a former math teacher myself, it's a math sequence where you add the previous two digits to get the next one. Now, normally it starts out with 1, 1. However, when most people use it, they ignore the first one, which would be right here. And so if I take those, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then you use these two now, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, and so on until forever, right? It goes on, it's an infinite series like that. Okay, now there's a couple other numbers I'll talk about at the end that come from Michael Shackelford from Wizard of Odds. He's run several simulations on this, and he's talked about why exactly this works until it doesn't, and we'll probably find that out here as well. But most people, when they use a Fibonacci sequence or even martingale, you typically have a goal when you go to the casino. And let's say that our goal today is to win $100, or we're going to stop when we lose all of this. This is 1,000. I would imagine if you're someone who is interested in the Fibonacci betting sequence, you probably are not going to the casino with more than $1,000. Because if you have more than that, you are definitely going to look at less risky ways to build your bankroll. And we're going to see pretty quick that this is a terrible idea. All right. That's it. Got $1,000 here for you. We have 400 in black, 500 in green, and then 100 in red. And we're going to use a $10 betting unit. That's going to be our first one. All these numbers, if you multiply them times 10, are going to be the bets that we play with. All right. The way that it works, so I'll use a coin here to kind of keep track, is if we bet the first one of $10 and we win, we obviously get $10, because that's how Blackjack works. All right. If we lose, then I'm going to move this to the second one, and we'd have to bet $20. So far it's the same as martingale, if you're familiar with the martingale betting system, where you double your bet every time you lose. However, there's a couple differences. Right. Let's say we're over here at the 80. We've lost 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row, and I have $80 out there. Like this. All right, 75, 80. And let's say that we win. All right, so we're going to get $80. Now, instead of going all the way back to the beginning, like in martingale, we are going to actually go back 2 spots. So if you lose, you go forward 1. If you win, you go back 2 spots. The reason for that is this next line here, the red line, says kind of what our cumulative loss has been. So if we lose once, that's $10. If we lose twice, now it's 10 plus 20, which is $30. If we lose 3 times, now that's 30 plus 30, which is 60, 110, and like in our example here, that's 190. All right, so let's say that we win this one. Well, 190, I only won 80. So if I go back 2 spots, now I'm playing with $30. All right, and now I can hopefully recoup that, 190 plus $30, and that'll help us get all the way back to the beginning. And like if I win this one, I go back 2 more. All right, so we kind of go forward 1 spot if we lose, and then backwards twice. If I were to win here, then I can't go back 2 spots. I'm just going to go back to the beginning. We start over until we reach our goal of $100 won, or we lose it all, which can happen a little bit quicker than you might think. All right, so I'm going to reset this, and then we'll get started. All right, and I'll put this off to the side so you can still see it there. It's in frame, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I think that might be best. We'll burn a card. Actually, tell you what, just so you know this is fair, let me take the first chunk and I'll shuffle these. All right, now those are shuffled. The order of the rest will be all messed up. I'm going to put these right at the beginning of the shoe here. And since I don't know what those are, there's no possible way for me to figure out what those cards are, so I'm not rigging this in any way. They are absolutely shuffled, okay? One thing that we do have to be a little bit conscious of is that, and this is why you probably don't want to use Blackjack if you're using any progressive betting system, which please don't use it anyway. And that is, with Blackjack, let's say we get pairs that need split. Well, instead of betting 1 unit, now we have to bet 2 units. And then if we get another of those same cards, let's say it's like a pair of 3s versus a dealer 6. If we get another 3, well, now all of a sudden we have 3 units out there. And if that's a really big unit, like in that $80 unit we were using before, that's 80, 160, 240. That is a lot of money out there just to try to recoup some losses. And so because of that, we really can't play perfect basic strategy. Instead of doing that, we're going to not split. We're going to not double down. We're not going to do anything that requires an extra bet on our part. We're only going to be playing the 1 unit or whatever unit is being asked of us at the time. If we get a Blackjack, that's kind of bonus, right? Because we can't alter the rules that the dealer has to play by. However, we can alter basic strategy and not play perfect basic strategy according to our betting system. So we're going to do that to kind of make up for the splits and doubles and things. And we'll see kind of how it goes from there. All right, I got a burn card. We'll throw into the discard tray. Let's try it here. All right, so here's a great example of this first one. We can't double that. We can't double down here. Now, I suppose since it's the very first one, if you want to, you could, but I'm going to stick to the rules that I came up with. And instead, we're going to treat this like a multi-card 11, like if it was a 5, 3, 3, maybe, where I would just have to hit this, okay? Now, if you're yelling at me in the comments, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just doing what I saw online, and we'll see probably this fail pretty quick. All right, so we had 19. Dealer has too many, and so we won. And so I don't have to move this at all because I'm back to the beginning. If I would have been further, remember I would have gone back 2 spots. I'm going to keep this here at the first one. All right, so we're currently up $10. Okay, next hand. I'll try to do less explaining because I think you probably get it here. Stand on 20. Dealer also has 20. That's a push. For pushes, you just stay wherever you are. Again, if I was at the $30 bet, the next one would also be 30 because I didn't win or lose. Stand on 17, dealer has 20, so we lost this. We're going to move forward 1 spot, and my next bet will be $20. Okay, 8 is going to hit, 10 is a hit, 13 can stand. So we are playing basic strategy for the rest of this, and if you're a card counter, one, you're not going to be playing with the strategy, but 2, if there's a deviation, I guess you could use it. All right, so we lost there. So now we're going to move this forward 1 spot. 17 beats 13. And we need a $30 bet now. Let's do this, use some greens. Okay, here's another one where I can't split this, again, because of my rules. And so I just have to hit. All right, so I have 8, and 18 can stand. Dealer has 7, 10, and 21. All right, so we lost $30 there. So we've got to move forward to the $50 bet because 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 times our unit of 10 is 50. Oh man, another double down opportunity, but just got to hit it. Okay, so you're probably, that's a reason why you should double normally. That's 21. All right, and dealer would have had 20, so we could have ended up with plus 100, but instead we only get plus 50. All right, now we are still down money, and because of that, we have to go back 2 spots here. And so now we're at the $20 bet. 10, 20. Oh man, another double opportunity, but we just have to hit. It's so weird not to double that. 11, still a hit. 21, once more. Dealer has 15 and too many. Okay, so now we are not going to go back 2 spots because I can't. I'm just going to go back to the beginning, as that's here. And it looks like we are, let's see, that's one more. I'll do that so I know. And that's one short, I think. Yeah, so we are up $20. Okay, so not to our goal yet of 100. 18, this can stand. Dealer has 6, 10, 16, and 21, a 5-card 21. Okay, let's move that forward a spot to $20. 20 is going to stand. Dealer has 12, 15, 22. Okay, go backwards 1 spot. $21, Blackjack. So you win 15 there. Too bad it wasn't on a bigger bet. Okay, I think we are up money right now, but again, these systems usually work until they don't. Stand. Dealer has 20. That's a loss. Move this forward. $20. No Blackjack. That is 13. Still a hit. 22 is too many. Dealer would have had a soft 17. Let's see. We lost. I'm going to move it forward. $30 now. There we go. Let's see. You get 30 plus 15. Nice Blackjack. I'm going to go back 2 spots to $10 bet. So I think we're getting close. Looks like we are up $60. 15 is a hit. And now we can stand on 18. Dealer has 14 and too many. Okay, up $70, if I'm doing my math right. Staying here at the first one. Whoa, 3s. Can't split them. Just got a hit. Now we can stand on 15. Dealer has 11 and 20. Okay, move it forward. $20. 20 is going to stand. Should check for that first. Move it forward to 30. $17 can stand. Ooh, 19. $50. So we've been here twice. So 50. If you bring just $1,000, 50 is 1/20th of that, which is pretty substantial. So that's a lot of risk just by losing 1, 2 in a row. 19 will stand. 11. 16. Hey, there we go. Wait, was that right? 50. Yeah. There's our 50. Okay, now we're going back 2 spots to 20. Man, another double. But we're not going to do 15 will stand. Dealer also has 15, 16, and too many. Hey, there we go. So we get back to the beginning. Probably close to our 100 here. Looks like we are at $80 in profit. Okay, so I'm going to be back at the beginning and betting $10 on this one. Another double opportunity. Just going to hit. All right, 19 will stand. Dealer has 15 and too many. There's $90. Okay. 19 will stand. 14 and 17. And there it is. So we won $100. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, I thought he was going to disprove the Fibonacci betting system. What is going on with that? There's our 25, 50, 75, $100. why didn't he disprove this? And I'm actually going to flash up these numbers here on the screen, which kind of show you that if you put a limit on where you stop, right? So that time we didn't have to put out an $80 bet, I don't think. I think the worst we got to was a $50 bet. We never lost more than one, two in a row was our worst losing streak, which is kind of rare if you've ever played blackjack. But Wizard of Odds, or Michael Shackelford there, has created a thing. If you make a stop loss where you stop and you go back to the beginning at 50, then, or maybe you just stop at all if you lose this many in a row, you're going to be a 91% success rate. If you stop when your bet is 80, or 8 times your unit, whatever that is, it's a 94% success rate, 96 at 13, 97 at 21, and a 98% success rate at 34. It sounds really good until you realize what happens in those other 2, 3, 4, 6, 9% of the time. And that is when we would lose the 1,000. So if you work that out, over time, and you run simulations on it, which I'll maybe link a video of his at the end, you lose your butt real fast, right? Those $1,000, it's just going to kill your wins. So it's kind of a, it even might be 9 steps forward, but 10 steps back kind of situation. If you kind of think of this as losing or winning 9 times, and then the 10th time you lose $1,000, 9 times you win 100. Now, it seems like it's going to get better and better the further that you go. However, you do get limited by bankroll or by table limits and things like that. So let's see if I can get an example where we do end up losing, and we will see kind of what happens there. All right, I'm going to reset this to our $1,000, and let's try it again. I might throw us into a hyperlapse until I can get a bad session for you, and you'll see exactly what happens during it. All right, I want to pause really quick in this one. We've lost, not necessarily in a row, but we've kind of going back and forth. We've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're in the 6th one in our progression here. And that is a $210 bet, which remember, if we started with a $1,000 bankroll, if you will, that is over 20% of it, is 21%, plus you're currently down because of the previous losses. So if I take this back, we're at 400 here. $500, $600, $720. So we have lost almost $300, and we're risking another $210. So that puts us at only, if we lose this one, that puts us at $515 left. So it's looking a little bleak right here, but we'll try it. Oof, got to hit that. Yep. And just like that, we need to put out a $340 bet, which a lot of you would probably be really scared to do, all right? Myself included. So that's 200, 300, 25, 30, 35, 40. This is where this system fails, all right? If we lose this, we are toast. We cannot recoup our losses. Ooh, and we were supposed to double as well. Just have to hit this. 20, that's not bad. Dealer has 7, 16, and also 20. Oh no. So that's a push. I was feeling pretty good about that 20. Let's see what they give us this time. 17 versus the dealer's 10. That's a stand. Oh, and just like that. No good. Run out of spots to put all these chips. All right. So, unfortunately, we can't go back 2 spots. We can't even go ahead the next spot. All we have left here, and this is why a lot of the percentages of blackjack are way worse than the house edge. House edge is if you play perfect basic strategy flat betting. All right. We are not flat betting, and we're not playing perfect basic strategy because we can't split or double. Let's see. We have 150. 60, 70, $170, and we got to bet it all here. So that would be more in kind of this range. So instead of going forward 1, we actually go back kind of 1.5. All right, 9. All right, no blackjack. 19. Okay, maybe we can make a run at it here. 15. Hey, there we go. So we did win a little bit. Okay, so remember, we were here. Let's see if we have enough. This was 340. The next bet would be 550, which we probably do not have. We have 325, 30, $340. So we have exactly this amount, which let's just bet it, since that's kind of where we are on the chart. So yeah, you kind of, if you bring a bankroll, you get a little bit ambiguous as to where you're at in your chart even. I'm liking the 10, 17, okay. Oops, that's not a hit, that's a stand. Dealer has 8, 10, oh, and 18. So you went from $1,000 to 0. And again, this chart that I have here, if I kind of pull these away, the likelihood of that happening, it sounds like it's not that bad, right? Because we would have capped our bets here at this 34, right? And then we could have gone back to the beginning or back 2 spots or whatever, which we sort of did. And it's likely that 98% of the time you win, but those other 2% we're losing everything that we have, and we just happen to get on one of those. So the goal here, depending on what your goal is, this is reached that many times. Again, I'll let Michael Shackelford explain that in this video right here. You can check that out. Otherwise, please don't use martingale, don't use Fibonacci or any progressive betting systems. If you really want to play, you can learn how to count cards at this video.